Good morning. Good morning, everybody. It's me, Mitch. Welcome, all 18 of you. There we go, 29 of you, 32 of you. Whoa, whoa. Somebody open the doors. Welcome to Morning Coffee with Mitch. On this hump day, November 5th. Oh, wow. I'm not used to this time change yet, that's for sure. I wonder how long that'll take. At any rate, it seems like just last night I was sitting right here. And here I am again. Let's drink it if we got it. Just indulge me. Oh, wow, that's good. That was my first sip. 4:15. 4:15. No, I woke up at 4:15. Wide awake. I don't know what to say this morning. I wish I could say it's a great morning and I'm so happy. Everything is just wonderful, but my mind won't let me do that. And I'm working real hard. So cheer me up, guys. I gotta stop for my own health and sanity. I have to stop thinking about politics. I just have to. And I think a lot of us are in the same boat this morning. Some of us know what's happening and have predicted this years and years and years ago. And every election night, we go into it. At least if you're an American, you go into it with your hopes held high. And in the morning you wake up and find out just, you're disappointed. You say, I knew that was going to happen, but I hoped it wouldn't. And you find out that slowly, year by year, day by day, our country we're losing it. And I don't know how much longer we're going to keep it up. Well, Barry, that'll always help. Super chat. Thank you so much, my friend. Oh, wow. Nice super chat. Super cheer up. Thank you so much. You obviously share my feelings. So I just want to get that out of the way and let you know if I'm laughing a little less this morning. It's just sadness and I don't know. We talk about the things in our community. We talk about the things. Let me show this on the screen for those of you who aren't watching the chat. Barry Simon. There. No, that's not it. Where is it? That's it. Right there. Barry Simon. Nice super chat. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you so much. Barry, and it's not the money, but it's people that care about what we're doing and about the things that I care about. Probably the only reason anymore that I would hate to give this up. And I keep doing it. Even though the advice I get from my family and friends when they notice how just disappointed sometimes, let down, devastated I feel at the response to the hard work I do and the abuse I get, they insist, stop doing it. Stop doing it. And I don't want to stop doing it. I want to keep doing it. So you're stuck with me. You're stuck with me. And so this is the second of the 3 morning live streams this week where we're going to get together. See, we got a nice little crowd starting to build, which is nice. Last night's Tuesday live stream, the attendance was a little bit down, but I kind of understand. It was new. A lot of people probably never got the word that it was not going to be just private community, and going to do that for a while and see how it catches on, or if it's just not a good time. There's just not a good time because so many people's own personal schedules and lives and concerns and distractions coincide. That's especially true for those people on YouTube at the exact time of day they release their videos, because YouTube gives us the analytics that tell us when most of our subscribers are online, and we get a range of time. So if I was to release a video early in the morning, it wouldn't go anywhere. If I released it at 11 o'clock at night, it would die before it ever got out of the gate. So it's all about timing, and I try to time these things the best I can. So after this morning, the next time I'm going to see you all will be tomorrow night on the private community, and then back here again on Friday morning. And I'm going to enjoy, if I don't get too bored, my day off tomorrow. So let me get the quick welcome duties out of the way. Last night, 1 o'clock in the morning, our time, Lady June chimed in and said hi from England, and Brian Dish, good morning to the Mitch Fitz on Hump Day. Thank you, Brian. And Mike Silly from Tampa is here, and Lucy Work is here. Good morning, Sandy Blythe. How you doing? All my friends are showing up for coffee. Isn't that great? It's heartwarming. Wayne Herman. Hiya, Wayne. From Lake Aston, North Carolina. Mike Silly Sr. Good morning, all. Jerome Musao. Good morning to you, too. Good morning. And Rick chimed in at about 6:30. Lady June, back again in the afternoon from the United Kingdom. Larry Ryan. Good morning to you, Larry. Lambs, good morning to you. Robbie Autry. Robbie Autry. And Lambs. A tie again. 7 a.m. The winners, both of them. Oh, wow, wow. And Also at 7 a.m. right on their heels, Jeff Johnson, the name you know. Good morning, Jeff. How are you? Good to see you. And Rick says hello again. Mary Henke, good morning all. And still 7 o'clock. Marla Kelly and Brenda McIntyre at 7. Don Schonger at 7. Loretta's here. Hi, Loretta. How are you, sweetie? Good to see you this morning. Jerry is here. Out in the forest again. Brian, be bad at 7 o'clock. Good morning, Brian. How you doing? And then starting the 7:01 minute was Sybil V. Is that Sybil V or a Sybil 5 in Roman numerals? Never been clear about that. Michael Pregler. Good morning, Michael. Good morning, Peter. How you doing? I'm with you, Robbie. I hate this time change, too. I hate it. Larry Bunbone is here. How you doing? And Barry Simon. Good morning to you, my friend. Good morning. And thank you again. Sandy says she's been up since 3:30. You beat me to it by a little bit. And Peter says he woke up at 3:15, eventually fell back to sleep. Wow. Yeah, this thing has got everybody screwed up. Screws you up in the evening because it gets dark earlier. Your body's telling you to get to bed. Then what would have been maybe 5 o'clock in the morning is now 4 o'clock in the morning and you're ready to go. So I don't know, how long does it take for your biological clock to catch up with the manipulated time change that they do to us all the time, Steve Rogers is here. Captain America superhero in the house from Kansas City. Good to see you. And Sandy Blythe. No news for me. I don't blame you. I couldn't watch the news. I didn't watch the news. I get up, put the coffee pot on so it'd be ready. I don't drink coffee before the live stream. I don't ever drink coffee within an hour or two of when I actually wake up. That's one of the little hints and tips that I think has a lot of merit, and I buy into it. And I first heard it from Andrew Huberman about that if you're going to drink caffeine, give your natural circadian rhythms a chance to start whatever processes of waking up need to happen without any kind of artificial stimulant. So the advice is when you first get up to hydrate, and that's when I usually take my first sips of electrolytes. And this is almost empty now. Not that I drank it all this morning, because I would be excusing myself during the live stream many times, but I usually end up mixing up a new batch mid-morning sometime, and there's always some left over at night. Put the thermos in the refrigerator, and when I first get up in the morning, I've got just, it seems, the right amount for that initial jolt of electrolytes and hydration in the morning. And then I put the coffee off until around 7 o'clock when I start the stream. And it works out pretty good. Whether it's doing me any good, how do we quantify that? I don't have any way of really knowing. Oh, yeah, Jerry. Be careful what you wish for up there in New York. But we're losing all our big cities. We've already lost. And this is nothing new. We've lost them years ago. We're losing the Midwest. We'll see what happens, but I'm glad I don't live in New York and don't have any vested interests. I'm staying in Florida, but the next election, the stupidity and gullibility that is the definition of the average person that votes these days is going to take over here eventually too. Pretty soon there's going to be no place to run and hide. My greatest hopes at my age is that I don't live too long to not have a place to live where I'm not everybody's enemy. And that's what's happening. And it's getting worse, not better. And New York, if New York is any indication of the hopelessness of the direction of the, quote, American people, we've lost sight of the football somewhere, and we'll never get it back. And I see the same trends in the diet community and the carnivore and the keto community, and all the while we keep rah-rahing and doing our thing. We're gaining no appreciable ground in the masses. So I loved New York City. I used to love San Francisco. Look what happened there. I used to love New York. I was in Philadelphia, and I used to go to New York all the time. I was at the 64 World's Fair in New York. I was my senior high school class trip. And in case the people who still live in New York can't predict the future like I seem to be able to predict, and I'm sorry to say it this way because it's not bigotry or prejudice or anything, it's just politics and invasion. But I think there's going to be, and I didn't invent this, but a lot of people think there's going to be a mass exodus. How can people leave? How can people up and leave when their lives, their jobs, their homes, their kids' schools, their friends are all in the community? Maybe the mass exodus won't be as big as we thought. But when the day comes, my friends, and please don't initiate a jihad against me. I'm just talking about the reality of history. Just ask anybody who lives in London today. Enough said. When the reality comes that right at sunrise every morning, the mosque on the corner starts blaring the call to prayer from these fabulous loudspeakers in their minaret. And that's what you're going to wake up to every morning and say, what the hell country am I living in? And that's our future, folks. And the only power we have is at the election booth. And what happened last night, it boggles the mind when I see it. And I view it as nothing more than a well-planned invasion that's working, but it's happening slowly over time. So those of us distracted by other things fail to notice. Kind of the way sugar poisoning takes over your life because it takes so long to do it. You don't notice the little incremental steps. And that's how many cultures take over other cultures. Very sneaky. Very sneaky. At any rate, didn't I say I wasn't going to talk about politics? Well, But it's reality. It's reality. So I can tell you, at least for now, for another year or so, probably, Florida is a safe haven from all that. But Florida is certainly not immune to cultural invasions either. That's for sure. Ask Rick. He'll tell you. Right, Rick? At any rate, John is here this morning. Good to see you. Sharon McCabe, how you doing? Everybody is talking about politics. Peter says, stop watching the news and focus on yourself. If I was going to focus on myself, I don't know what I do with my time all day. I'm not physically able at this point, and probably may never be as physically able as I was, to have a really active life and be out there and travel and get on airplanes and go see things. And I just can't do it. I can't do it. I could do it. I lost interest and didn't want to do it. So now not only don't I want to do it, but I can't do it. So I'm pretty well housebound. I can't not pay attention to it, or I'll bore myself to death. I mean, I would just sit and watch the clock all day, and then I would probably wonder why I even keep living, and then who knows what bad things might happen. So I can't do that. I can't not be aware of what's going on around me. I don't think much of this will really affect me right now. But I'm busy trying to figure out a way to stay healthy till 110 years old. That's 30 years from now. When I look back at the dramatic changes that happened in this world in the last 30 years, and the fact that changes keep accelerating and happen more and more frequently, I'm scared of what's going to happen in this country in 10 years. The best advice somebody could give me for my happiness, for me to be happy and content and look at the world through rose-colored glasses, would be do whatever you can, Mitch, to enhance the odds of you going senile real fast. Because one thing about senile people is they're usually not unhappy. They're usually happy. They say that the best thing about Alzheimer's, I know it's not a good way to go, but dementia, is that you meet new and more interesting people every day. Think about that. Rick says Mitch will never give this up. Well, don't never say never, but it's not likely, and not anytime soon, because where else can I find 100 sane people all in one place that I'm where I know I'm talking to? I know the numbers aren't there. I may have all these subscribers, but I don't know where the hell they are. They certainly weren't watching that video I put out yesterday. They weren't interested in it. So let me get down to the chat here. Again, I like to answer questions, but not medical questions and not personal medical questions. I like to answer philosophical questions, questions that require a look at root causes of things, and I like to explain all those things that I've learned in my lifetime that everybody else finds boring, not exciting enough. But questions, I had a couple of good ones last night. Questions along those lines would be great. Jerry, at work with my OSHA-approved hearing device. You mean like earmuffs? Earplugs? I can listen to lots of lives, can't talk or chat, though. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. Jerry Voitish. Good morning, Jerry. How are you? How are you? I see here something just got my attention. It's from Gary. Good morning, Gary. How you doing? Yeah, Jem says the people got out and voted. At least that's a good thing. Well, that wasn't a good thing. The fact that the people that wanted America to remain America didn't get out and vote. They were not motivated to save their country. How sad. And shame on them. Lazy. Preoccupied with all the trivial crap on social media and television. Guess who was motivated? The invaders of this country were motivated. Yeah, record voter turnout. But the results of the election tell you who were the invaders and who were the invaded. And the invaded were half asleep. So you can't brag about voter turnout. That just means they were motivated and they want to take over our country more than we want to keep it. And that, my friends, when any population gets that lethargic about having their homeland taken away from them, we all deserve it. And if it's because the media and the narrative have already been co-opted by them, so just like we can't get our message out there to people, they can get more of their message out for all the same reasons. It all boils down to motivation and messaging, and that's sad and it's scary. And we can all talk about it and we can all identify the problem, but nobody either wants to fix it, knows how to fix it, wants to spend the money it would take to fix it, wants to make the hard choices of unpolitically correct supposed things. And anyway, I know the problem. I know it, I can predict it, and I watch it unfold every single time. We got through this last election, but every time one of those things happen, I say, well, this is probably our last hurrah. And I hope they prove me wrong. And I hope somebody wakes up and puts their foot down and doesn't find some judge on the other side to put a stay on them putting their foot down and makes them lift their foot back up again. So all the things that need to be done never get done because they play the game better than we. And by they, I mean everybody who doesn't want to see America stay America. Not that there's nothing wrong with America either. There's plenty wrong. If it was something that I could have voted for yesterday, I would have done it. But I didn't. We didn't have any elections here. But so I can't. I'm not being self-righteous when I blame everybody else for not voting when I didn't vote. Anything. They give me an opportunity to vote on the dog catcher, I'm going to go vote. George Carlin has a funny routine, if you've ever seen it, talking about elections, about voting. He says, I'm tired of people saying to me, you can't complain, you didn't vote. He says, well, I've certainly I'm the only one that can complain because I didn't vote for that idiot that you voted for. And that's why we have these problems. So you can look at anything from two different angles and justify both of them. Well, I don't have the problem today that I had last night. Last night, the chat couldn't keep up with me. And I not only did I not find myself behind, I was looking for, all right, somebody chat something so I have something to talk about. It was an interesting live stream. And I try to pronounce it. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. It's quite a name. Everybody's saying good morning, good morning. Okay. Let me start a little earlier today and see if anybody has put a QQQ in here. Let's see. Because what I don't want to do is talk about politics all day. Why isn't this working? There it is. Capital Q, Q, Q. Yes, Barry Simon. New York shock to the system that backfires? Question mark. Oh, wow. Wow, Barry, that's... Is anybody really shocked? Because it was a foregone conclusion. It was a foregone. Almost every election that has a spoiler, the spoiler usually spoils. If y'all remember Ross Perot. And I don't follow New York politics other than the headlines. I don't have a personal stake in New York. We have a few of our fine carnivores that live in New York City, and the New York City area, but I haven't even seen all. I've seen one headline this morning, and it said Democrat sweep. That's all I needed to hear. I don't care about the details. It doesn't. You can't fix everything. I spend my life trying to fix people who have addiction problems, and I'm not doing too well at that either because nobody wants to hear it. So every day I wake up and prove to myself that I'm insignificant, inconsequential in most things, have no power to fix anything, and just sitting and being analytical enough to understand the problems, why they happened, what could have been done in the past to keep them from happening that didn't happen, understanding why the things didn't happen, what's good for our country and what's bad for our country. The dumb things politicians understand it all. And the times whenever I try to fix something, I'm usually rejected and disappointed because somebody else's agenda and motives trump mine because they're brainwashed and I'm not. The only person that washes my brain is me. I don't know how good that is, but that's why I never sit and listen. I never went to school. When I was a kid, I went to school, but I wasn't there in my head. In my head, I was figuring things out, and I learned everything in my life my own way. So I'm not full of other people's brainwashing. I never gave religion a chance to brainwash me. I never gave politics a chance to brainwash me because I see the BS on both sides. In politics, it's the lesser of the evils. And I always seem to go with the one that's less scheming and fewer dirty tricks that are so obvious they disgust me. That doesn't mean that I don't see those dirty tricks and disgusting schemes on both sides. It's just one particular side invented them. So I tend to lean to the other side because you can't be in the middle. That's the problem with most people these days. They have no convictions. They're moderate. That word moderate and moderation, as far as I'm concerned, is the filthiest word in the English language and the cause of more harm than any of the four-letter words that they keep admonishing us for saying. So, pick a side, is what I say. Declare your own core principles. And stop wavering and stop. That's what I hate about every election. The undecided voters. How can anybody living in this world be a so-called moderate? The difference between the two philosophies is so stark and different, so right and wrong, depending which side you're on, that how can anybody be undecided? Undecided only means you haven't given it a thought, you don't pay any attention to it, it doesn't matter to you, you're completely indifferent to it, you're going along for the ride, and you're the first ones to bitch about everything. That's my definition of a moderate. Prove me wrong. People say, well, moderate is somebody that just has the options open, that just is an intellectual that wants to consider both sides before making a reasoned and careful bullshit. It's just bullshit. Moderate is somebody that doesn't care. Because how can you not care when the two sides of every argument are so far apart, morally and intellectually, at opposite ends of the spectrum? How can you be in the middle if you're even paying attention? It means you have no core beliefs, no core principles, usually part of the, I'm going to go with whoever has got more in it for me crowd. And that was a big part of what happened in New York last night. The votes were bought in most cases. They were bought. Free child care, free bus fare. Who's paying for all this free stuff? The billionaires, tax the rich. They're not paying their fair share. More welfare. We're thinking about even a basic minimum income every month from the government. Well, who's paying for all that? Those people that aren't paying enough. And that's the mindset. It always has been. Always has been. Entitlement. You deserve this. You're entitled to that. And that's what won the election last night. And the thing that honestly got, I'm talking about politics, the thing that really so thoroughly disgusted me, on the little bit of stuff I did watch on YouTube, up came a video with a TV advertisement that he ran, speaking in Arabic, promising all of the non-English speaking Muslims that live in the New York metropolitan area everything they were going to get for free if they voted for him. And we admire a big voter turnout when that's the thing that The first thing people that'll get them out of their house is showing up for a prize or freebies, and we wonder why it happened. And anybody except me doubted that anything else might happen. That's reality, folks. The place where I live. The real world. No mystery about anything. Everything can be traced backwards, and the cause of it can be found. And I didn't have to spend much time looking last night. I found out where that big voter turnout came from. And that's not a new tactic. That's a political tactic that's been used since the beginning of time. A black person wants to get elected, they appeal to emotional black issues and turn out the black vote. A woman wants to get elected, they turn out all the emotional woman's issues and get the woman's vote. There's only one small subset of human beings that can't use that tactic, and that's a white male. And the other people have made sure that that would be politically incorrect for so long that that's kind of ingrained in us. Oh, well, stop me. Somebody stop me. Say, stop it, Mitch. Talk about carnivore. What else is there to say? Got that big thing coming up in Tampa. Is that this week? Hack Your Health. Everybody's going to be converging on Tampa. I wish I could be there to hug every one of you, but I can't. So, have a great time. Have a great time. And we'll hear all about it next week, because a lot of you, they even got Rick out. If you can imagine that, they got Rick. They got Rick to leave Miami. Stay in a hotel. Wow. That'd make a hell of a documentary, just following Rick around. Hack Your Health. I wonder if he's going to have a bunch of ducks swallowing around behind him. That would really be cool. Like, you've seen the mama duck, and it always got a whole string of baby ducks. I used to see that every day when I lived on the intercoastal there. Always a family of ducks wandering here and there. It's always the mama and all the little babies. The babies would be walking off in all different directions, and the mama would go round them up again, get them back on track. That would be kind of cool to watch Rick leading a bunch of ducks around. And anyway, Barry, I really wish that I could do a political show now and then, but I'm just as convinced that any of these shows that we do, most of what we're doing is preaching to the choir. That's just it. It's a fact of life, because why would you want to watch? It's like me. Why would I watch a vegan influencer? Why would a vegan want to watch me? So we usually congregate with people who are like us. That's why people get such warm and fuzzy feelings in church. It's the other people, like-minded people. Maybe in somebody else's church you wouldn't feel so welcome. You might feel like you're in danger, but when you're around people that are like you, that's a normal human emotion. We feel safe and secure. We don't feel danger. We do feel danger when we find ourselves immersed in a bunch of people that are nothing like us. That's a natural survival instinct. We are ruled by our natural survival instincts and don't know it. Jerry, Super Chat, thank you so much. There are 2 sites. I mean, I can't read that white on orange. Let me see if I can find it in the chat here. I'm going to skip all this stuff and start dealing with the more up-to-date chat, but let's see if I can find it here and put it on the screen. There it is, and it's hard to read that white on orange. There are two sides. Common sense, unfortunately, doesn't add up. It very rarely ever does, Jerry. Social programs are fine if you want them. Pay for them. Don't make me pay for something I will not use. Humanity is important. I'm a big giver. I think that's a great philosophy. An argument that's not an argument, but a logic that's often used in all of this stuff is charity versus government taxation. Because the government has the power to take your money away. Initially, that was supposed to be used for the common infrastructure, defense, roads, schools maybe. Politics being politics, elected officials got elected on platforms of promises of, you vote for me, I'll give you some of the other guy's money. What more compelling argument could you give somebody who is convinced that they're a victim and it's the other guy's fault? It's about time I got some of his money. So the political pitch is demonize the other guy. Here's a chance to get even with him and take some of his money. Yeah, sign me up for that. And the next thing you know, you've got an entitled class that always votes for people who will promise them more and more. A great example of that was New York last night. And people, and we have pro-government programs like food banks and food stamps and all this, and it's really charity. It's really charity, but it's so easily manipulated by people that aren't quite that honest that it's amazing the amount of money that goes into Medicare fraud and food stamp fraud, and just leave it to the human race to figure out a way to steal. And if you don't think they're doing that, think about it every time your phone rings and it's some kind of scam phone call. Or you get a phishing email that's trying to steal everything you own if you fall for the fact that Amazon is emailing you that they're having a problem with your account and you need to log in by clicking here. And if you don't get 50 to 100 of those every day, then believe in the decency and the honesty of the human race. And what Jerry says is that she doesn't mind helping people. I don't mind helping people if I can, but it's not your place to make laws that dictate who I help and how much I give them without my permission. That's not freedom. That's communism. And these politicians these days aren't even ashamed to label themselves a communist. New York as an example. And that's how misled we become. And I hate to say we deserve the outcome, but who else are going to blame it on? We allowed it to happen. They out-scammed us, folks. Just out-scammed us. Maybe they're smarter than we are. But all I can tell you is that won't be long before in some of these big cities, you're going to be governed by Sharia law. If you're a woman, you're going to be wearing your head cover anytime you go outside. Your morals, your sex life, they tried that already, but you're going to be, the punishments for those things are going to be severe. And you're going to wake up to morning prayer every morning. You're going to be living in Baghdad. And if that's the way they want to live in Baghdad, that's fine. That's why I live in America. I don't want to see America turned into Baghdad. Kilty's here. Wow, 7:42. Hi, Kilty. Are you and I still in love, or do you hate me? Oh, man. Give me a call. We need to talk, will you? Give me a call. Dr. Kilt's in the house, says Sandy Blood. Yeah. 7:42. That wasn't too long ago. Yeah, 7:49. Okay, we're pretty well caught up. How about that? Let's see. Jem, it's only a select few of the misfits who are left. So no biggie. We are still here, right? Yeah, it's true, but I get okay attendance. There's 110 people here now. Was 120 or 30 at one point. We're not breaking any records. That's for damn sure. I don't know what the distraction is. I know that there's not a lot of laughter and happiness in the room this morning, and that's understandable. It's understandable. A lot of people are still dealing with daylight savings time. And, what did I just do? Dealing with daylight savings time, and I'm trying to find the next QQQ. Here we go. Stuart and Jennifer, questions before your questions, so Mitch sees it. Oh, okay. Somebody named Loretta, named Stuart and Jennifer, asked me a question before. She said, put the QQQ in front of it. There it is. Okay, I'll answer this one. It says, Mitch, I started Carnivore a week ago. I am so sick, might be flu, bad timing, extremely achy, nauseous. Did this happen to anyone? Extreme fatigue, Jennifer. Yes, happens to a lot of people. They call it the keto flu. Now, it could be that you got a flu bug at the same time, but it's kind of normal. Make sure you just stay hydrated, electrolytes, and just eat meat. And I don't know what's the longest time anybody's ever had the keto flu. A couple of weeks. It ought to get better. I don't know you. I don't know anything about you, your medical history. I don't know who you are, what you are, whether you're Stuart or Jennifer. So I don't even know if you're a man or a woman. But it's a very common thing for the first week or so to get what they call the keto flu, and that is the fact that your body is, for any number of reasons, just rebelling. Once it's sugar, you're not giving it. So that's the best I can do to answer that without knowing you or being your doctor. And even your doctor wouldn't be able to recognize that. Let me see, any more QQQs that I missed before? I don't see too many. No, every time I press it keeps going back to Barry's original question. Not a lot of, yeah, I don't think so. Okay, I'm still, except I'm half out of it. I'm half out of the, because of this time change. I'm still just not feeling 100% during the day. I'm feeling like I got a lack of sleep thing going on here. We're not gonna go too far over it today. DS111 just asked the question. Mitch, do you have an opinion about why my voice gets faint by the end of the workday? Could it be some vitamin deficiency, do you think? I have absolutely no idea. Absolutely no idea. I couldn't even guess. I wish I could help you. Have you, I mean, the odds of me being able to guess what's causing that. Any of you watch House, MD, Greg House? Even House probably couldn't figure that one out. Even with all the assistance and lab tests he has. You have to kind of troubleshoot it. And maybe you need to go to an ENT guy and ear, nose, and throat guy and actually get him to look down in there. See if maybe you don't have a nodule or something growing on one of your vocal cords that may be causing the problem. But it could be anything. It could be physical, it could be nutritional, it could be anything. It could be maybe DS111, my friend, that you just talk too much. Because sometimes after I get through a particularly long live stream and all this talking, my voice gets a little weak too. And then on top of the changes to it that happened with my stroke, and the fact that I have to more consciously enunciate so I don't slur, makes it even more tiring. So maybe you just your vocal cords are they're just muscles. You're just getting tired. How does the rest of your body feel? You get tired anywhere else at the same time, or is it just your voice? That's an interesting question, though. Hanging out with Jen. Yes, we are. Question, what's your opinion on Spam and other meats like that? Well, the rest of my body is very good, says DS111. Well, can't tell you. I wish I could. Anything would just be a guess. And for you to take any action on my guess would probably just be a waste of time. My opinion on Spam. That's better than donuts. I'll defer to Ken Berry on that. If that's all you can afford, it's hot dogs and Spam, and you want to be as healthy as you can be, you're better off eating hot dogs and Spam than all the other standard American diet. As far as how healthy it is, you could probably survive on it. You could probably survive very well. You probably survive better than the average American if that's all you ate. I haven't eaten a lot of it, but when I ate it, I had it fried, and it's pretty tasty. It's got salt in it. I don't think there's any seed oils in it, but look at the ingredients list and see if anything does jump out to you. But basically, it comes from an animal. And if it's basically an animal product and not adulterated with a lot of chemicals and stuff, more than likely it would be better for you than most food. I wouldn't shy away from it because it's called Spam. But I haven't really looked, I don't buy it and I haven't eaten it, so I don't buy potted meats or canned meats. But I wouldn't be scared of it. I wouldn't think. Loretta says, Mitch, have you tried red light therapy for your sleep or moods? No, I haven't gotten into that yet. I know Ellen's big on that. Ellen, I'm not really a moody person. You don't differentiate impatience or intolerance or nonsense with moods. moods denote a long-term thing. Anger is kind of like a mood that all comes out at one time and you get over it. That's me. That's me. I am never in a bad mood. I'm always in a good mood. I may, for a brief period of time, appear to be pissed off, but I'm not unhappy. I'm really not unhappy. There are things that I don't like, and I'm not afraid to let people know I don't like them. But as soon as I'm done letting them know, I revert back to my content, happy self. I have no problems. I mean, my life is utopic right now, and overall, even with the handicaps I'm suffering under, and the recovering from the stroke, and the disappointments from the fact that sometimes I feel like I'm beating my head against the wall, trying to be heard and to convince people that I think I know what you're doing wrong, but the forces we're up against on everything are so enormous. Little people, we're just a little basement revolution. We don't have the power, the reach, the influence, the money to really make anything happen. We observe. Most of us have answers, but nobody's listening. I was always, all my life, I've had this one joke. And it was a joke. It wasn't ego. It was a joke. I used to tell people, I said, I know the answers to most of the questions that are being asked. I have all the answers. Problem? Nobody ever asks me the questions and cares about what I say, and that's true. And I've always noticed that. And I'm not the only one like that. That's called anybody who's logical and realistic and has common sense is like that. Because the rest of the world, especially the people with all the money and the power, don't seem to have any of that. And you usually correct that. But as far as being moody, I'm not moody. I might be unhappy. It lasts 5 minutes. It's gone, and I go back to trying to look at the bright side and trying to have fun and trying to be happy and content. And I am, basically, overall. I can talk myself out of unhappiness pretty quick. I can smell the roses pretty quick. Grab the brass ring. And all the other platitudes that indicate contentment and happiness. Count my blessings, as they say. I'm not in debt at all. Not a penny. I lease my car. It's about as close to a debt as can be. But the car is worth what's owed on it. So in that respect, I'm not in debt. I could get rid of the car without putting up any money. Because when I have money, I had a trade-in for this particular car that I had equity in. So I'm not upside down in the car. But I want to drive it, so I found it's cheaper for me just to lease a car. I'm not concerned about not having a car payment. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't affect me. I have no debt. Zero. Zero debt. Nothing financed. No credit cards with any balance other than the few bucks I might have spent in the current month to buy things that I need every day and to pay for my electric bill and stuff like that, all my expenses, my food, and any gadgets or toys I might have bought. But I pay every credit card bill off before the statement drops. That's weird, but my balance is never reported to the credit bureau until the statement drops. And every statement that drops on every one of my credit cards every month is reported with a zero balance. My credit utilization is 0%. So I owe nobody any money. I have no obligations to anybody anymore. I have customers. They pay me. We both could end that anytime we wanted. I'm not contractually obligated to anything. I'm happy. I have no pressure on me. I have nothing to do but take care of myself and keep busy and try to do things that I enjoy. And I enjoy doing this, which is the main reason I'm here. I used to think, well, it'd be nice to enjoy something, make a few bucks at it. But I just got tired of what I had to, of my pride that I had to really give up to play their games to make money, because then you get on their treadmill and then they eventually end up owning you. I'm not going to do that. So I'm happy. I'm happy. I don't need red light therapy to make me happy. That's where we started on this. And nobody needs, I don't want anybody to cry for me or feel sorry for me. If most people were as happy as I was, the world would be a different place. So Loretta, that's the answer to the question about the red light therapy. There may be something to it, but most of the things that I've seen are just another scam. Buy this hat for $1,000 with all the red lights in it, and you'll grow hair. Yeah, that kind of stuff. I don't trust anybody anymore. It's sad. It's sad. I'm looking for one last thing to talk about. Bacon Runner Donathan got another annual invite to Thanksgiving dinner yesterday. I guess they appreciate their needed babysitter. They're as needed babysitters. DS111. Old man, doctor. Can you help me, doctor? What's the problem, old man? I can't pee, doctor. How old are you, old man? I'm 97, doctor. Well, you peed enough. I need a rim shot here on my sound effects machine. I think it's time to go this morning. See, my voice. Wow, my voice too after an hour of talking DS111. Don't feel so alone in that. I'm going to have lunch with my son today at Sonny's Barbecue. Looking forward to that. Get out of the house. And I will see some of you tomorrow night on the private community live stream at 7 p.m. Try to avoid the news and the TVs today because it's not going to make you happy. Hopefully by tomorrow night, we'll have settled down, more used to the time change, get back on some more positive track, have a nice panel in there where we can all get together, have some fun, because that's the most important thing. We got to have some fun. Got to find some reason to smile, some reason to laugh. That's not just a platitude that laughter is the best medicine. You cannot be unhappy or depressed if you're laughing your ass off. It's impossible. So let's find us something to laugh our asses off about. Even if it's just making fun of vegans. always a good comic choice. And let's look forward to Friday morning, where I'll be back here at 7 o'clock and see if we can't round up a really, really big crowd for TGIF and get involved and try to keep it real positive and real helpful. And you to get back away from the idiocy of the world and the world's problems and get back to the real reason that we're here. To support each other, encourage each other, to do the things we need to do. And the only way we can fight back against all the propaganda and the crap that's killing people, and that is talk about proper nutrition, common sense, and tips, and tricks, and hints, and the rest of it. So let's do that on Friday, and let's make I will try to make a pledge to lead it in that direction and stay away from the aggravating crap that you hear on the news, on TV, in commentary, on social media, from your neighbors, day in and day out, every day, that just drags us down and down and down. Can't do that. I've made it this far in life by always fighting my way up when everything else was pulling me down. And with gravity, it's easier to go down than it is to climb up. But the day you stop climbing up, it's the end of it for you. So let's do that on Friday. And until then, my friends, there's a little happy music. You may notice I have nothing but happy music on my little box here. Because you can't be upset to music like this. You got to smile. You got to start moving. Say goodbye to your friends in the chat. And get on with your day. Have a nice Wednesday. Thank you, Loretta. Hi, Loretta. Great live stream today. Thanks. I appreciate that. I don't think it was as great as it could have been, but it was good for me. Hope it was good for you. Mitch, thank you. It was fun and informative. Have a good time with your son. No news is good news. So, yes, laughter, best medicine. Jem, thank you. Thank you for that. And Jerry says dance. Lady June says bye all. Yes, ma'am. All right. With that being said, I will get on with my day, and you all will get on with yours. I'll see you tomorrow night, and again on Friday morning. Maybe a video in between. I don't know yet, but I'll be here, be around. Take the rest of the day off and eat meat.